Have you ever wondered why some businesses feel stuck in a loop, unable to grow, while others are able to thrive and innovate? The answer often comes down to one powerful thing: vision. So today we are diving into why vision is so critical for your business, how to set it, and how it can transform not only your operations, but also your entire team. Hey there, I'm Tess Connolly, and I help businesses untangle their messy systems and operations so they can operate with clarity and scale with confidence. So, why is vision so important for your business? Well, number one is that vision is inspiring, encouraging, and brings hope. Now, that might not seem like the most important thing in business, but if you think of someone like Martin Luther King Jr., his "I have a dream" speech wasn't about logistics or steps, but it was about painting a vision that was so inspiring that it actually moved millions to action. So an inspiring vision actually has far more potential than you might think. Number two is that vision makes you feel like you can contribute. People, i.e. you and your employees and your customers and your clients, need to feel connected to something bigger than themselves. And without a vision, people get stuck in a daily grind, never really moving forward. Number three is that vision eliminates the distractions. See, without a vision, it's like trying to hit a target in the dark. You'll waste time and energy and resources and money on things that don't actually matter. Number four is that vision enables growth. See, vision actually enables you to focus on scalable opportunities instead of staying in your comfort zone and maintaining the status quo. And number five, that's kind of linked to number four, is that the process actually grows people. See, when you create and pursue a vision that feels almost impossible, your team are going to need to develop their skills and their confidence to get there. And growth and pushing people out of their comfort zone in a work environment is actually a huge driver for employee engagement and success. See, when you have a vision, everything becomes much more intentional. Your choices, your strategy, and even your daily operations begin to align with the bigger picture. Okay, so what are the benefits of setting a big, bold vision? Now, not just a safe one. I'm talking about the kind of vision that excites you so much that you could just talk about it all night. There is this concept that I love from a book that my husband and I have been reading called 10x is Easier Than 2x by Dan Sullivan. And the concept is this. See, when you aim for 2x, so 2x your current vision or 2x where you currently are in your business, you tend to rely on the same systems, the same processes, and the same thinking that got you where you are. But when you set a 10x vision, or 10 times where you currently are, everything has to shift. You have to think differently. You start innovating, collaborating, and finding new ways to solve old problems. See, big visions don't just create excitement. They actually also attract the right people and the right opportunities. When you're aiming for something massive, people want to be part of that journey. It energizes your team and it gives them a real sense of purpose. And trust me, when your team is all aligned with the same big vision, that is where the magic starts to happen. Okay, so why don't people set a vision? Or why do people settle for less? Well, firstly, many people don't set a big, bold vision because they fear that they won't be able to achieve it. And I get that. Big visions can be scary. It means stepping into the unknown, and there's a risk of failure. And let's be honest, that can be quite uncomfortable. But here's the thing. If you aim for a really big vision, if you aim for the 10x vision, and you don't end up achieving it, you'll still end up much further ahead than if you aimed for your 2x vision. Another reason why I think that people avoid vision setting is limited thinking. We often get stuck in what feels familiar or feels safe. But here's the thing, Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. And without vision, businesses and people stagnate. See, you might have all the tools and all the resources in the world, but without a vision, without somewhere to direct those tools and those resources, it's kind of just wasted potential. There is a proverb in the Bible that I really love, and it says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." And I believe that that is true for businesses too. Without a clear vision, teams begin to wander. They lose focus, they get distracted, and eventually they plateau. So, how do we start setting a vision and seeing results? How do you go from feeling stuck to setting a vision that truly inspires you and your team? Well, step number 1 is to start with your why. Ask yourself, why does your business exist? What is the bigger purpose behind what you do? When you start with your why, your vision will naturally begin to align with your goals. Step number 2 is to dream big. Give yourself permission to think beyond the status quo. Imagine your business 5, 10, 20 years from now. What impact are you making? How are you serving your clients or your customers? What does success look and feel like? And step number 3 is to involve your team. Now, this one is huge. Don't just keep the vision to yourself. Share it with your team and invite them to contribute. When people feel like they have ownership of the vision, they're gonna work harder to contribute. Okay, so now you've got a dream. We're gonna need a strategy on how to get there. If you think of your business like a road trip, your vision is going to be the end destination. You can be a car, pick whatever car you like, and strategy is going to be your road map to get there. There was this one time when I was about 19 years old on my green P plates, and I was driving back from a friend's wedding. Now, it was about an hour from where I lived in an area that I never really visited. My best friend came with me on the way there, but she stayed for the reception and I went home after the ceremony. So I was by myself. Now, by the time I left the wedding to go home, it was starting to get dark and it was raining. And for some reason, I don't think I had my maps or my navigation. Now, I'm not that old. I'm sure I had a smartphone at that time. Maybe I didn't. Point is, I'm trying to get home. Now, I'm doing okay until I hit the motorways in Sydney. Now, if you're not from Sydney, these are toll roads. There are lots of them, and the intersections can be highly confusing. Between the M7, the M5, the M4, the M2, and the Great Western Highway. So I'm doing okay until I hit the M7. Now, the intersection to get onto the M7 was a little bit confusing, but I managed to get there. Now, about 15 minutes or so into my driving, I start seeing signs towards Canberra. Now, I'm trying to head north of Sydney, and Canberra is the capital of Australia, which is about 3 hours south of Sydney. Now, I am much more visionary than I am detail-oriented, and it actually took me a few of these signs to realize I am heading in the wrong direction. So I managed to get off at the next exit. I have no idea where I am, but I managed to find a side street to pull up, and I gave my mom a quick call. Now, she was able to figure out where I was thanks to the street signs, and she skillfully redirected me back to the highway, ensuring that I was going in the right direction. Great, so now I'm heading home. And then another intersection comes up. One sign said Newcastle, and the other sign said Sydney. But it was dark and raining, and I was very confused, and I had a split-second decision to make. I should have taken Newcastle, but instead I took Sydney. Rookie error number 2. So now I'm on the M4, heading in the wrong direction again. So long story short, I pulled into a petrol station and asked the lady where the heck I am. The lady was kind of shocked to hear where I was trying to get to. And so I put her on the phone with my dad, and they devised a plan of how to get me home. So equipped with a drawing on a piece of paper about which way to go, I jumped in my car and drove off. I ended up going around a roundabout several times because I just completely lost confidence in my ability to discern which way to go. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure I took another wrong turn, but I managed to somehow end up on the right direction home. So 3 hours later, it was supposed to take me 1 hour to get home, but 3 hours later, still dark and raining, I end up at our front door. My mum opens it up and looks at me and goes, "Thank God you're home." And I burst out crying. Now my point is, you can have a big vision and an end destination of where you want your business to be in 5, 10, 15, 20 years time. But if you don't have a good strategy, a good roadmap, a good operating system of how to actually get there, there's a high likelihood it's going to take you 3 times as long. Not to mention the confusion it brings when you have vision, but the strategy is just to kind of figure it out along the way. Now, the beauty of having a really big dream, a 10x vision, is that there's likely going to be only 1 or 2 ways to get there, as opposed to a smaller vision where you might have 10, 15, 20 ways to get there. So a big vision is actually going to help bring clarity and simplicity and purpose as you create a strategy to move forward. So vision isn't just something nice to have. It is the heartbeat of your business. It inspires, it guides you, and it challenges you and your team to grow. Without it, your operations are going to feel like a chore. But with it, your operations are going to become a powerful tool to help you achieve that vision. So here's my challenge to you. Take some time this week to dream big. Write down your vision, share it with your team if you have a team, and start aligning your strategy. And if you're feeling stuck, don't worry, I'm here to help. Drop your questions in the comments below and we can keep the conversation going. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more business operations tips. See you soon.